All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie. The players in all caps. Here with my good friend PGA Tout, John Hausbauer. How are you tonight?
I'm good. The players, but louder.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
feel like you have
players,
to
but
scream it because
louder.
when I write it, which is all I do content-wise, I just slam on the caps lock. But as
Yeah.
a podcaster, I feel like you have to just say it a little bit louder,
No, for sure. Like
or just
the
like lean
play.
into the mic a little bit
Yeah.
more when you say
The
the
players
players.
with Aaron Badley, Dylan Wu, Carl Yuan, Peter Malnati. The best field in golf. Doesn't get much better than this. Players Championship Week. Are you jacked up? Like, where are you at with this week?
Yeah, all the best official world golf ranking players in the world. So, like, undisputably, whoever wins this week is the best player in the world. What
Correct.
more stakes could you possibly ask for? Are the Chainsmokers playing this year? I feel like
No,
they
but I
are.
did. I did see that Akon's playing at Live Miami. Like
No, they got
I
Akon?
Akon, Live Miami. I'm locked up. They won't let me. Like he has to play that song. That's one of my favorite Akon songs. Easy. But no, I don't know who the musical guest this week of the players is.
I
That's definitely
actually,
something that was missing from my research.
damn, I could look into that. I saw Akon perform live with Snoop Dogg at Jersey City
Wow.
Town Hall for 4th of July one year.
Movie?
He, it was actually kind of sick. There was like, it was in the streets and they shut down the streets and there was people like climbing up the like bus stops
Wow.
and like hanging from lampposts to see Akon, which is like way too much effort to get a good view of Akon.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I would compare it to like betting Brian Harmon at like 50-1 to win the player. Like that's like the equivalent. Like you're just like doing a
We're
little
not bending
bit.
over backwards to get there.
No, like I'm not like we're not doing all this to bet Brian Harmon at 50-1.
If we
I'm
miss it, it's
excited.
okay. That's how
Yeah,
I feel. Yeah.
I'm excited for this week. I think this is top 3 course they play on the PGA Tour. I really like it. It's not standard PGA Tour golf. We usually get a good winner, a lot of water balls. Like I'm players good event. Like I'll go out on a limb and say this is a good event. The back end of the field is not good, and it's an embarrassment from the PGA Tour to say this is like the best field in golf. But other than that, like I'm pretty jacked up for this week.
Yeah, the bottom of the like really don't scroll very far on the board when I'm looking at odds this week. Like once we get to 150, I'm like, are these guys all in the field or is this the alternate list? Like what how are these guys playing in the players? But I think it makes it actually a little bit easier to bet because
Yeah.
you get some randoms, but you look back on it and it's like, how did this guy win at 201? Like when Siwoo won, he was like a big dog. But you look at like how he got there, and it was like I think he won earlier in the year.
Yeah.
His form was good. He was just like, I'm Siwoo Kim. So who is this guy? There's a lot of guys that are like Siwoo Kim this week who are like at way too long of odds that are playing really well. That if they won the players, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that checks out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
no,
like
and
kind of
I
been my
think
thought process this whole week is like, would I be shocked if that guy won the players? Because there's plenty of guys that we know if Scotty Scheffler's like breathing down their neck and they have to hit a good iron shot on 17, they won't. Like
yeah.
Chad Ramey, I think last
Chad
year was
Ramey,
like a
first round
very good
leader.
example of like he could play well here, but is he going to win the players? No, he'll make an 8 on.
Yeah, I mean, I do look at the players kind of like a BC, like before Christ, like with the May move, the move from May to March, because before it moved to March, there were definitely some longer shot guys to win this event. A lot of long shot guys lingering top 5 and post move to March, it's been number 1 players in the world, major champions, arguably the best golfer at a certain point in their life. So that's kind of what I'm grappling with this week is like, yeah, I'm down to bet a bunch of bombs, but this new spot in the schedule just hasn't really like produced that at all. Like obviously,
Yeah,
shout out Bond, like he
I
almost
was just
won.
gonna mention Bond. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's always like they may not win, but there's always a random in the top five. Like even Lee Westwood, the year that JT won, was right there for most of it. Like David Lingmerth was the guy last year who was like lingering
yeah.
around top five the
David
whole time. Like there's
Lingmerth's
always
been
one guy.
like for all the talk about how elite this event is. Like last year, David Lingmerth's top 5. So
Yeah,
again,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think, and to the point of like, there hasn't been a lot of long shots since it changed from May to March. Like, I think there are certain guys who play better at certain times of the year who need a little bit more buildup, who need like a major under their belt before they come to the players. Maybe there's something to that. But I don't think the course is like more
okay,
advantageous to good players in March. There's just certain players who are like not up to speed yet in March. Like Chris Kirk is a good example. He has sick course history here up until the year it changed to March, and then he's been horrible. So that's just like a
okay,
person. That's like a him thing. Like the way that the grass grows is dormant. It wasn't dormant back then. It's in March. It used to be in May. It's throwing them off. So there's guys like that where I'm like, okay, you have good history, but you haven't done anything since 2019. Probably something to that.
yeah. No, I agree. I've definitely been factoring that into my models all week. That's definitely been a big thing for me. I think that the only way we got to start this, we got to devote some time to talk about Scotty Scheffler, the winner of the Bay Hill Invitational, now a 7-time winner on the PGA Tour, 8 if you include the Hero World Challenge. He has yet to win a PGA Tour event outside a 3-month window in the calendar year of February, March, and April. He has 7 wins, but he's only won 5 different events. Is that math right?
Sounds right. Yeah. Well,
Like
waste
he won
twice,
Waste twice and Bay Hill
API
twice. So
twice.
I tweeted it out. You obviously got it because you're a golf sicko. But I said I'm gonna bet Scotty to win match play next year and then the Masters year after that. Do you want to explain that to the viewers or like should I?
Well, are you just saying he wins the same types of
No, like
events?
so in his first year, he won Waste, Bay Hill, match play Masters, and
Okay.
then the
Okay.
next year he won Waste, and then the year after that he won Bay Hill. Year after that, he's gonna win match play, and then he's gonna win the Masters. Like everything's gonna come back to his first stretch of wins on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of just dominates at the courses that he dominates at,
Yeah,
which I like. To be fair, he kind of dominates everywhere, but like I think it's more the putting thing. Like if he's won somewhere and he's figured out how those greens roll, like he's more likely to win if he's on a place he's comfortable putting. Maybe there's something to that. The players, he's got a weird history here. He won and he hasn't finished better than like top 40 otherwise. A lot of guys have that type of history. So API, like I'm never going to kick myself too hard for not betting Scotty Scheffler at 6.5 to 1. But I did definitely text multiple people saying I would like Scotty is so much better than Rory, and they're both single digits. I should just bet Scotty, but I
but
can't do that because I'm a man of principle and I can't go sub. I spotlight Harris English. I gotta
yeah,
have room for Harris English.
yeah.
I can't be for my integrity, my reputation on the line. I can't go 6.5 Scotty and Harris English on a card. I'll be laughed out of town. No one will take me serious.
Like DMs would be flooded with people like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like
Unfollow. This is not the tout I once
you're
knew.
never gonna buy a house with this type of card.
Yeah, I'll be. How much money did you lose winning Scotty Scheffler? Like that's what people would be saying today. So I got to take that L. Worst bet I've ever placed in my life. And the second I placed it, I said, I'm
Was
an idiot.
Rory?
Rory, I knew it.
Worst bet
like,
you've ever placed in your entire life was
it was
Rory at
dead.
API.
Yeah, like a single digit Rory at API showing no form outside of Dubai at a course that he always backdoors top fives, but never actually is in the running.
Yeah.
With like everybody around him was in better form. And he's world number 2, but it's like the phoniest world number. Like, how is Rory world number 2? He hasn't looked good in like 5 months. How is he world number 2? Because everybody else has like taken a step back, but like he's not the second best player in the world.
So that's what I like about you, John. I like that you admit that it was a bad bet, and you didn't come on here and say like the process was good, like course played a little bit different than I thought. Like, no, just a straight up bad bet on Rory.
I was like, I can't make a decision on anyone in the 20s.
Okay.
I'm just
and none of them won, so who cares?
Guy.
And
yeah, the process from that aspect was good, but we got to do some reflecting, looking in the mirrors, be better this week. If anybody bets Rory at 10-1 this week, get help.
I think he's like 14.
The camp, he might have slipped out. I know when it opened, a lot of books had him at 10, and it's like, for what reason?
So where are you on Scotty Scheffler winning every event he plays in now that he putted well last week with the mallet? Like, do you lean more on that side or more on the it was one good putting week? He'll probably continue to dominate tee to green and win like 1 or 2 times and underperform on the green. Like, where do you net out on Scotty after last week?
Yeah, I'm more in the camp of like, if all that was missing was a switch to the Spider, then why didn't he do it?
Your local PGA Superstore attendant could fucking tell you that a mallet is easier to putt than a fucking like blade. Like, that is like not revolutionary information. He has the best fucking putting coach in the world. Like, it makes no sense.
I have to believe that he's just not comfortable over it, and he's really resistant to the idea of being a mallet guy, and just did not want to do it, and got to a point where he was like, it can't get any worse. Let me just see if this works. So I still don't think this is like the solve. Like, even with like Lucas Glover, it was like, oh, he just had to do the group broomstick. Now he's the best player in the world. Not that we thought that, but it's like, oh, this guy could actually be on the Ryder Cup because he doesn't miss putts anymore.
Yeah.
And he's back to being horrible. So I think long term, Scotty will still be a bad putter. I don't know enough about like this mallet experiment yet to know if this was like the missing link. I also think there's something to it where like he probably thought it was like cute that he plays a Scotty Cameron and it says Scotty on it. Yeah, and he was like, I can't give that up. I'm Scotty. I have to play a Scotty.
Yes, and he probably listens to Scotty Doesn't Know all the time. Like, just everything that revolves around Scotty, like he's just in on. And if it was Scott Cameron, he wouldn't be using it. Like, the fact that it's Scotty.
Exactly. So I think that was hard for him to cut ties with.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not concerned about it this week. This is a week where the favorites can just like combust. I know he just like boat raced the place last year. But if there was ever a plate like there's water everywhere, he's not, like, the greens are kind of weird here. He's not guaranteed to roll them all in again.
Okay.
I'm still going to play him like DFS and everything, but I'm not like terrified going to the without Scotty markets.
What about like going forward? Like, is he just going to win the Masters and Memorial and the US Open and PGA? Like, where do you see that? Not like this week specific.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, difficult conditions, you can get away with not making every putt.
Yeah.
So the majors, I think he's still going to be a threat. I'll probably bet him 8-1 in a major this year.
Okay.
I did that at the US Open at least last year, probably 1 or 2 others. Like, it's always a comfortable feeling betting Scotty. Like, he's going to be around.
I don't know. I feel like it's the opposite. Because it's actually, you're
just waiting for him to explode.
It's just like a terrible feeling of like, this guy can't make a 3-foot putt, but hits every single fairway and puts everything to 8 feet. So I don't know. Like, I'm personally, like, golf is just not that easy. Scotty is not just going to switch to a mallet spider putter and he's just going to win every event after he should have last year but couldn't putt. Like, golf just doesn't work that way. And like we said, there's no way that he switched to a mallet before and didn't putt well. Like, he had a new putter at Hero and putted well and won. And I'm not comparing it to the amateur game. But if you're like a regular golfer and you get a new putter or you get a new wedge, your first couple rounds, you usually play a little bit better with it because like it's new. And I just don't think that like this is just going to solve his game and he's going to be unstoppable. And I genuinely felt like that was the consensus like on Twitter after. It's like, yo, like this guy's legitimately going to win 6 majors, like maybe this year. Like I'm out on that. Like I don't think that it's going to happen. I think very soon Scotty Scheffler will not touch the hole on a 3-foot putt. And I'll fucking Vic lap it. Like I'll Vic lap the shit out of it. Like Scotty Scheffler will miss a 3-foot putt again. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, all anyone's ever been saying is like, oh, this guy could just putt to average. He would win every event. So like that's the scary thing that like if he's top 15 in putting for the week or top 10 for putting the week, he's gonna win a lot. He just doesn't really have that ceiling in him. But like he's good enough to win events losing strokes putting if he loses like half a stroke. If he puts neutral, then he's always going to be like top 5.
Like I really just like want it. Like I know it's like he's the arguably like one of the best players of our generation. Like I don't feel like bad saying that. I also like invented the guy. But
people forget.
I would like genuinely like I want to see him gain all this putting at a course he's not already won at. Like I want to see it at a PGA or US Open or at Memorial. Like if Scotty's just gonna win one of Waste, Bay Hill, Players, Masters for the rest of his career, like I'm out. Like you're like lower in my rankings. But obviously, off a big week, where do you set Scott? How many majors will Scotty Scheffler win in his career? What is the number? I don't want an over under. I want what do you think that in 2060, when we look back on Scotty's career, how many majors does he have on his Wikipedia page?
It kind of feels like he could burn out with the way that like he throws his body around everywhere. Like like I could see Colin Morikawa having more majors than Scotty Scheffler. Maybe that's my hot take.
You lost me there.
Because Morikawa's game will be this forever. Like he's gonna be great iron guy. Some weeks he hits putts, always in the fairway. When he's old, this is still gonna be his game. Like he's already won two majors without any distance. Yeah. So I think the longevity of Morikawa's game, I think is gonna last. Scheffler, like eventually he's gonna have like a bad angle. He's gonna like tear an ACL hitting a drive because he's fallen all over himself. Like he's gonna have to reinvent himself a little bit in that aspect. So he's got to get his work in early. He should. You know the thing with Scotty, a lot of his wins are like stress free. You know, because he builds up such a big lead. Like
I know, but I don't think that's like a negative. Like I don't.
But how many times have we seen him chase somebody down to win
literally his first
big event?
Like his first 2 wins. That's it.
Did it happen that way though? I mean,
yeah, no, he made birdies down the stretch at Waste Management, and he was like 100-1 at Bay Hill when he won. Match play doesn't count. Ran away with it at the Masters. Kind of ran away with it at Waste last year and didn't even have to contend at the Players last year.
Because I'm thinking like the way he won the Masters was weird. He like 5-putted. That was odd.
Yeah.
The Tour Championship, he has absolutely gagged the last 2
years.
That's like a shell of himself with like not even that much pressure on the line to like shoot par in the final round both times. He couldn't do it either time just to like win a lot more money. And he looked like very human closing out those events. So he's not like this Tiger Woods force who's like, people are like, oh no.
And they're also, what I will say about Scotty is that there's been a lot of times where it felt like he was just going to win the tournament on Friday afternoon, and he did it. Like PGA Championship, Century, like there's other events, sprinkled in there. Like waste management this year. Like, there's been a lot of times where it's like, fuck, Scotty's just gonna win. Like, fuck this, and he didn't. So I'm here for the like Scotty Scheffler. Is he a closer take? Like, I can ride with that. Also, like, is he a limited field guy? Hero World Challenge, the Masters, Bay Hill was closed doors. So, I kind of want to see this guy do it in a big field.
Yeah, well, that's true. I if I'm setting it over under, it's probably 4.5.
4.5.
Is that low? That's low.
No, I think that's high.
Like,
I think it's 3. I think the over under is 3.5. If he wins 4 majors, like, that's incredible. Like, winning 4 majors is truly like a massive, massive achievement. Like, I think he'll have 3, and I think 4 is like unbelievable, like amazing career, like top 15 of all time. If he gets to 5, like, that is like truly an absolutely incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, well, I think this is his window over the next 5 years to put some damage in there. He's always going to be good at Augusta, and he's a great fit at all. Like, he's good in links conditions too, because he just hits like those low flight balls. So like, he's the best tee to green player since Tiger. Like, no debate. The numbers are like better than a lot of Tiger's best tee to green years.
Yeah.
And he's a terrible putter, but he doesn't look like a terrible putter, like when he's
hitting good putts. The data can't.
It's not like he's Will Zalatoris and he's like shaking over these
hitting everything.
Like, he has like a hitch in his putt. Like, he doesn't have the yips or anything. He's just like aiming the wrong way. So
he's hitting good putts. They're just not going in.
Yeah, eventually he'll figure it out and he'll just go on.
So what is your official number? What is your number? I don't want an over-under. How many majors does Scotty Scheffler finish his career with?
I'll say 5, because as soon as 4.5 came out of my mouth, I was like, I think that's too low, actually. So I'm going to say 5.
Yeah, I don't like, people don't just get majors. Like, Rory fucking should have 7 by now. Like, he doesn't. Like, Spieth should have, like, it just doesn't. No one just wins a fuck ton of majors, like, other than Brooks. Like, you don't just win a fuck ton of majors. It just doesn't really happen. So I would say Scotty Scheffler, if he doesn't have 2 majors by the end of the 2025 season, if he doesn't have 2 more majors, so if he doesn't have 3 by the end of 2025, I would say disappointment. And he still hits the ball well. That's my take.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a big gap between him and the rest of the best players right now. Like, he should be at like 5-1 at the Masters, right? Like, that's probably where
he's like 6. Like, books are like, we're not like even remotely, but still, he'll be the most bet player this week. Like, pure handle. Like, most people will bet Scotty Scheffler 5-1 because they don't care, and they're not like, EVR gained 11 strokes on approach here 2 years ago. Like, I need EVR on my card. Another guy I want to talk about. Where are you on Will Z? Like, is he back? Like, fire up the Masters futures. I think truly he's been one of the bright spots of the PGA Tour this season. I think that he's a guy that really elevates the PGA Tour because in the biggest moments and in the biggest events, he usually shows up. And I think he's a very likable guy. And I think the PGA Tour really needed him this year. Like, I think he's been him and Wendy C have been definitely a bright spot on the PGA Tour. Where are you on Will Zizzle?
He's like all the way back. I can't believe how back he is.
Yeah.
Like, it took him very little time to be like, he looked horrible. Couldn't have looked worse at the Hero. Like, we're like straight from the hospital bed for whatever surgery he had to that course. Like, couldn't be any rustier than that. And then he was really bad at Sony. And he's been fantastic ever since. 18 under at the Amex. Like, that's not like prime Will Zalatoris wasn't doing that. And now he's got back-to-back top 5s. Like, he's vintage Will Z now. So I think he's like all systems go for Masters. I've completely missed out on any value on Will Z.
Okay.
And I still might bet it like a 25. Will Z.
Really?
Like, I might do that.
He's 30 this week.
Yeah, but Masters course history,
Yeah.
that's going to be priced
I
in
mean,
there.
Kyle
He's always
Porter said
good.
he should be the second favorite at Augusta. To that, did you see that tweet? It was like a bunch of things. It was like Will Zalatoris should be the second favorite at Augusta. I'm like, okay, like I like Will Z. Like I have a 35-1 at the Masters, but no, he shouldn't be.
Yeah,
And
35.
honestly,
That's a good number.
yeah, I bet, and I have 40 at the PGA and US Open. Like he'll be there at the events. Like I really think. But I don't know if you're in, but Will Z 18-1 Houston Open mortgage, nuke, Max, Wega, Whale, Will Zalatoris. If he plays, I don't know if he's playing. If Will Zalatoris plays in Houston, it's an absolute piss missile.
Is that
Are you
because
in?
his family like owns Houston?
No,
Like
it's
all
just
the
like
oil in
difficult
it?
conditions in Texas, easier field.
Okay. I'm pretty sure his family are like oil tycoons.
They're
in Houston,
Dallas
too.
guys.
Okay, so they're the town over. Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
So
really
is,
count.
Will Z's 21. The best number on him is 21-1 at the Masters. Right now.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I would still probably bet it.
Fuck,
I'm
dude.
a
I
sicko.
am fucking loaded up on CLV for that. Let's go, dude.
He's shorter than
20?
Cam Smith.
Yeah, I mean Cam Smith. I have him at like 28.
Yeah, actually, Cam
But
Smith's been
I stayed up to watch Live Bangkok, and Cam looked dialed. So I'm pretty happy with my Cam future. I was grinding Live Bangkok this week. It's not Live Bangkok, but I'm really upset they got rid of the event because it's just like such a funny thing to say. And like it was just easy to like make fun of Live if you just like, oh, I'm not gonna wake up at 1 to watch like Live Bangkok. Like Live Hong Kong's not as funny because it actually was like a decent event. But shout out Abe Answer. I feel like should have been on that. Like short course, Abe Answer, 35-1. Like I'm kicking myself a little bit for that.
Yeah, I'm just never gonna bet Live. Probably.
You're out on Live.
I'm out on betting Live. Okay. I gotta be like with the boys, and like actually able to watch it.
Yeah.
So like if I'll put a squad bet in if we're gonna watch the end of a Live on like a boys trip or something, I'm totally down for that. But I'm not gonna like research Live and bet anything with any sort of conviction on it.
Okay, that's fair. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm actually, no one cares, but I'm actually lowering my outright exposure per week. Like I'm betting to win less money because I just like, it's just such a fucking waste of money. And like, it's just pain after fucking shit. And it's fucking ridiculous. And I don't feel like just being like, for a while I was like, all right, I don't care, I'll lose $500 a week. Now I'm just like, yo, like I'm not doing this anymore. Like I'm betting to win less money. And like no one cares. But the Puerto Rico Open, fucking Jimmy Stagner, like I don't know why, but ever since I saw his name at Torrey, I'm like, Jimmy Stagner, like that's
you've been riding this. You invented Stag.
Yeah. No, like genuinely. And I'm like, dude, he's playing fucking Puerto Rico. Like, I'm nuking it. So I bet like a stupid amount of money on it just because I like saying his name. And he like actually plays really well. And he's like leading on the front 9. And he just like plays like so fucking down. I'm like grinding like fucking Puerto Rico, just watching and dying over every shot. Makes a horrible bogey. Birdie's a par 5. And then people were at 19 with like a bunch of holes to go. I'm like, okay, there's no chance. 19 holes, like no one, and all he has to do is birdie 18, which is a hard hole. It's like 630. Like there's no gimme par 5s in Puerto Rico. And he hits like one of the best shots of anybody. Like actually gets it like close to the green, like chipping, like a long chip. It was not an easy chip, but it was like a longer chip. And he just skull fucks it over the green, like doesn't even give himself a shot at making birdie. I'm like, are you like, it was such a good bet, and I like bet stupid money on it, and it just like comes up short. Just like, yo, I'm fucking done with this shit. Like it sucks.
You didn't even bet Hayden Springer, which I begged and pleaded for you to get on Springs, and he was
Springs.
He tied him too. He was 18 under. He was one stroke away. So all of us had Puerto Rico heartbreak to Bryce Garnett,
Who
who's like
actually like should have been on him. He fucks in.
people.
He fucks
He's
in the
the
Caribbean.
Scotty
He is the
Scheffler of
yeah.
pass ball. Like he's
He
good
is the
situationally.
Caribbean killer. Caribbean killer. Like truly, look at his results. He just fucks in the Caribbean.
It's it. Yeah. I wish somebody would. They probably have asked him like, why are you literally only good outside of the continental U.S.? What's going on?
Sorry, I have a space heater on. It got way too hot. You also didn't even say anything. Like I wore this for you.
I know we got into it too quick. I noticed the Greystone. I would never miss that salmon QZ.
That was a sick round, dude.
Number one course in Rochester.
Yeah, like without a doubt. Like if you're ever in Rochester, play Greystone. Tell them John and I. They'll give you a discount. You want to talk players?
Let's do it.
What are you looking for this week? Like, what are the boxes you got to check to make your card?
T splits first and foremost. Had to hold, show some restraint before I fired off any outrights to see the wave advantage, because what is it? Every single winner has been
14 out of the last 16 have been AMPM.
Yeah, so I think that means Alex Noren is going to win.
Dude, like in my notes, Alex Noren, first round leader. These are the first round leader guys. Those are all mortgage. They're all going to cash. Noren, first round leader, is a mega max. If you're not, he's got to be on the card. Come on.
Yeah, he is now.
First round leader?
Yeah. I haven't even begun yet, but I'm
okay. Fine. Nope. You're good. You're good. Go. You're good.
I actually think, broken record. I say this every week, so it doesn't really matter. But this is Aaron Rye's week. This is, if I had to put my foot down and say, where is Aaron Rye going to be first round leader? He's going to be first round leader, but it's only going to happen once this year. It happened 3 times last year. TPC Sawgrass. The man. Dude. I ran all the models, positional courses, layup heavy courses where you can't drive it into the bunker, mitigating your misses off the tee, who has the least wayward shots into water, plus approach. It's Aaron Ryan, Siwoo, and like massive gap everybody else. Siwoo, I can't really bet first round leader because he's too short at the players. Aaron Rye will for sure. I haven't looked at his odds, but he's for sure like 120 to 1 or something.
I'll ride it. Is he morning?
No, he won't be on the card, but because he's one of those.
Is he in the morning? Is Aaron Rye teeing off in the morning?
I thought you said, is he winning?
No,
that's a good point. I didn't even think about it if he's in the morning or not. But I'm blindly betting it, and it doesn't matter where he's teeing off. He's going to win. He's going to be first round leader.
He is fucking morning. Okay, Let's go. I'm riding. I'm in.
All right, you get 80 to 1. I'll take that. I'll take 80. I thought we get to 100, but it's okay. It's still value. Keegan. No. Keegan. So every player's, I bet Keegan, Hoagie, and Rye as first round leader.
Yeah.
So that's not giving me much space otherwise, but I'll put in Noren. We'll ride that together.
Okay. I have other. Griot I like too. Let's just get the good part of the pod out of the way. Noren, Griot, Hadwin, EVR, first round leader. Those are 4 are on the card. Add Rye to it. Maybe a couple other morning guys. But those 4 first round leader for sure. Ben likes it. Shout out Ben, EVR first round leader, and Caps, he gets it. Boxes, outrights, players. What are you feeling?
What?
Like, what boxes do you need to check?
For outrights.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all approach and putting for me. I feel like you should be at like comp course, plays well in positional courses. I feel like that translates pretty well. I feel like Sony has been a really good comp. So looking for a lot of guys who played Sony who are good and played well there. Keegs. Bermuda putting is like not really that much of a thing because it's like not purely Bermuda. It's like this dormant overseed situation. So I don't really care so much about that. The around the green areas are like much different than most Florida spots. So I'm like not going crazy about like Bermuda short game. But it's Pete Dye, so you gotta have like creative shots.
Okay.
I say that as somebody who bet Victor Hovland. I'm hoping that he hits 100% of greens in regulation. But ideally you are like a Siwoo, a Justin Thomas, a Scotty Scheffler, somebody who can scramble around. It's weird that like
Cam Smith also has a good short game, I've been told.
Yep, that's not bad. So it's weird that like Spieth hasn't ever played well here because he kind of like passes the test of everything you should be doing well at Sawgrass, but I'll continue to not bet him. So yeah, it's like Florida swing, form, positional course history, elite irons, and like you have a spine. You're not going to
Where are
fold
you
all over
on?
yourself.
You have to be playing really good golf right now in your last start to win the Players.
Yeah, last start I'm out on that because
Okay,
like Bay Hill's
you're
so
out on
different.
last start.
Yeah, it's so windy too. Like if you're not somebody who plays well in like crazy stormy winds, then like it's gonna be windy at Sawgrass for sure, but it's a different type of wind.
Yeah.
Because it's a stadium course, so it's like kind of protected in a way. It's more the swirling stuff that you get on a lot of holes. There's more trees. There's like, I mean, there's trees at API too, but it's like it's a little bit more protected. It's just like a swirling wind that you have to get used to. Course history means like pretty much nothing. It's nice if you have repeatable course history, but if you're somebody with bad course history, I think it's still fine. Because it's just like a new batch every year. So as long as you if you hit your irons well last like at API, it's a great sign. But if you didn't, then I'm just gonna blame like there was too much water and wind and it skewed the numbers, and I'm still fine.
I'm in either way. I'm in like you have to play well last week. Also, you don't have to because it's Bay Hill. But honestly, like the event before the Players has changed. Like it hasn't always been Bay Hill. It was only Bay Hill last year. Like year before, right. Cam Smith didn't play Bay Hill. Year before that, it was like fucking the Nicklaus course. So that's fair. I think that's like if you really look at it, like I dove into it. And like just looking at what the winner did in their last start, like almost all of them had a good approach week. So that's kind of tough for me to like overlook.
No, approach is one that, but I'll look at approach and it's like you can have one bad round where you lose like 3 strokes on approach and it tanks the rest of your week. So there's some like Sam Burns is a good example of that. Like he was god awful in the last round of API, but he was hitting it well. He was hitting it well everywhere else. So like I can overlook one bad round. If all of your rounds were bad, then that's a concern coming in for sure.
Okay. We talked about Scotty. He's not going to win. He's really not going to win. I think we're both on the record. He's not going to win. Rory 14. You said it was the worst bet you ever made ever in your life last week. You said 14 is an even worse bet this week. He can't hit an iron. I'm out on these top two, and I'm obviously not going to bet Scotty at 5.5 to 1. You bet JT. I received inside information 23 to 1. Not a lot of multi-time Players winners here, but he does check the box of actually playing well, gaining on approach, great short game, good course history here. What is your case for JT?
Yeah, JT is like the course
PMC
history
time.
What's that?
PMC
time. Master of bad draws, so I couldn't be less phased about it. Yeah. Like the exception to the rule of like nobody's consistent at the Players where he's never missed a cut here. He's like, I think he's literally the only one in the field who's played at least 4 times and never missed a cut. So, and this is like the perfect Justin Thomas course. Like Justin Thomas's problem is that he tries to create shots on like very straightforward holes. It's like just trying to do way too much. And here, like if you want to like send a little like low draw around a tree or something, you can do it. If you want to play a cut and finesse it in over there, you can do it. If you need to like hit some sort of clever shot around the green, go crazy. He had his worst showing ever this time last year. he was a shell of himself last year, so I'm going to overlook that. He was just unrecognizably bad all of last season, so I'm going to throw that away. T33 the year before in like the worst conditions imaginable. It's like the best T33 anyone's ever had. One the year before that, I was on him. So good vibes to go back to him back at Sawgrass and just playing really well. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened, but a switch has been flipped and he's back to his vintage self. So he hasn't won a non-major since the Players in 21, which is crazy. So it feels like it makes sense to me that now would be the time that he does it.
Okay, I like that case. No beef with it. I don't know if he's going to win this event, 2 times in 4 years. That's kind of my biggest hesitation with JT. And I don't know if he's ready to win again. And he's a PMT time. But other than that, like, I'm in.
I mean, is he a guy who's going to win the PGA Championship twice?
He didn't win the second one. Like, that didn't count. Like, I'm pretty sure
I would
fucking
agree.
like some high schooler gained more strokes to the field than he did when he won. But it's fine. I'm over it. Like, I honestly don't even care.
Well,
Preaching
to the choir on that one.
Your spotlight was Hovland. Hovland fucks here. This is a Hovland track. He hits the ball unbelievably well here. But he's come down to earth after the summer of Hovland. Why did you bet him?
Yeah, I think after betting Rory, and again, like immediately after hitting that bet, I was like, that was the stupidest bet I've ever made in my life. How do I take it back? I was like, Victor's like just better than Rory. I feel better about Victor. He's more reliable. He's not erratic whatsoever. He knows where the ball is going. He hits it dead straight, hits it far and straight, but his irons are also good all over the place. He's a coastal god. So he's sick flighting shots into the wind. That's huge here. And he's like, when he's on, he makes every putt too. So he's like one of very few elite ball strikers who are also great putters.
I agree with that.
His short game sucks. And it hasn't gotten any better. It's probably gotten worse since he broke up with his coach, but he always plays well in the majors. And the narrative going into all the majors is he's not going to be able to scramble in difficult conditions. He's not going to hit these greens at like 80% in regulation, and he can't reliably chip. And he like is gaining strokes at the US Open around the green. He's gaining strokes at the PGA around the green, at the Masters around the green. Like they keep saying he's not going to ever win the Masters because his short game isn't creative enough. And he's like top 10ing every year there too. So maybe he won't win. Maybe he'll just always backdoor contend, but won't get up and down when he needs to. I'm kind of the opinion that like, give me Victor Hovland getting up and down from off the green, chipping it horribly to 10 feet, but still making the putt over like, just Colin Morikawa having to hit a 6-footer.
Okay.
For par or something, like he's not a good chipper, but he'll make the long putts coming back. And that's what you're really hoping for with Vic.
Yeah, I like Vic. I think he's at a good number, and course history alone, like I think it's a good bet. I could see not saying this is a get right spot for him, but I could see him kind of wrapping up 4 major season with a really strong showing here. I don't know if he's gonna win. Like I don't know if his game is quite there yet. And he wasn't a prolific winner before last summer, and the Tour Championship doesn't really count. So like that's kind of my concern. He is an AMT time, which I do like. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go there. I like Max. I like Max 28. I know he was a bit higher earlier. I'm hoping for maybe some drift on Max, but this is a course that he plays well at, and he's played well even when he wasn't, a top 10 player in the world. 13th, 6th last 2 years, gained in every major category. I think I put him in the Hovland category of a good ball striker that also can putt, which I really obviously like about him. Don't like the ball striking. The ball striking hasn't been great, and that's, kind of where I'm like, again, have to be really good on approach coming in here. At least a lot of winners were. So that kind of gives me, a bit of cause for concern. I worry about the ball striking right now, but I don't know. I like it. Like, I really can kind of poke holes in a lot of players. So it's tough for me to kind of get there. If you asked me 2, 3 weeks ago, I would have said 1,000,000% I'm betting Colin Morikawa at the players. In my
Yeah.
opinion, this is a perfect course for him. Like this is just an absolute great spot for him. Just have to be accurate off the tee, but don't have to be super long. Have to be an elite iron player. Like the short game and putting, but tee to green, this is just a great spot for Colin. And I bet him here last year, and I thought I was the smartest person in the world after the first round and second round. Did he finish top 10? No, but he, was live favorite at one point, so that counts for something. But I heard that he was absolutely terrible at the hill, like truly abysmal, and
Yeah.
something
He
might be
was like
off
one
with
of
the
5
game.
players to miss the cut.
Yeah, but at the same time, like he missed 2 cuts before players last year and played really well. He missed 2 cuts before players this year. Like, I don't think his form's that much different than last year. And 30 to 1, like, I don't know. I might have to be in just from a I think this is a perfect course for him, and he fits the mold of winners here, other than the short game. Like, I might have to be in at 30 to 1. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I was on the same. I think I like went on record. Now I'm off record a year later that I would bet Colin and Tom Kim at every players for the next decade,
Yeah.
and just like they're going to win at some point. Because it suits both of them perfectly. But Collins, I don't know. Collins looks like he's going through something right now. Like he's like just a guy ball striking now.
Jag. Jag. He
He's
is a
like,
jag.
I mean, he's gained like I think, yeah, he lost in 2 of his last 3 on approach. Like that's your one thing. If he's not doing that one thing, then
It's fair.
he's definitely just a guy in all the other areas.
It's fair.
But it's the perfect course for Colin Morikawa if he's like figured out his game. And
Yeah.
he is slipping, so you can get a good number on him.
Decky, no chance. I'm fading Decky this week. Anytime Decky makes sense, he's terrible. You bet Decky when no one's on him and he's like 80 to 1. You don't bet Decky at 30 to 1 after a couple good starts at a place he has good history at. Zal, I'm out on. He's been fucking in the elevated events. I don't think he's ready to win just yet. I don't think he's quite there with his game. Will he win Houston at 12 to 1? Yes. Will he win this week at 28? No, he won't. Not selfish, just my official opinion. The person I really want to talk about the most, and I've gone back and forth on this guy. Like, I invented him. I thought he sucked. I might be back in. What is the case against betting Wyndham Clark at 40 to 1? Like, why wouldn't we bet Wyndham Clark at 40 to 1? PMT
Yeah.
time is the only one I can think of.
He's a cheater.
Yes.
So like more like Daniel Berger might phone in if there's too many cameras on him. Might fluff up a lie somewhere. Like he's kind of creeping into that territory where he's just trying to give himself too many advantages out there. Is he good on the? I mean, he won Pebble. It's like a live win. Like he led after 3 rounds
Yeah.
at Pebble, so you give that to him, I guess. But is he great on positional courses? Because obviously, like his strength is the distance, not the accuracy. But you look at a guy like a Bryson, who's like played super well here the last time he played Sawgrass, and he just like knows the right time to hit the driver or not to hit the driver.
Yeah, no,
What?
I think Wyndham, like, for me, like, he was excellent off the tee here. I think he gained like over 3 strokes off the tee here. So I think this is a place he can club down and be great. Like, is he the best iron player in the world? No, but he has a great short game and can putt well. And I don't know. I just feel like 40 to 1. Like, why the hell not? He's been the best in the elevated events out of anyone, and he played well here when he sucked. Like, why wouldn't 40 to 1? It's a good number. Like, he's done more this year than a lot of these guys. So I just 40 to 1. I just I'm kind of buying at the peak, but I still think it's a good number considering everyone else kind of sucks.
Yeah, he's the best option in that 40 range. You got like Lowry and who else is like Burns is like
Where are you
35.
on Burns? Can he
So I
win?
bet Burns. I was kind of committed to betting him
You bet
before the
Burns?
fourth round. Yeah, before the
Fuck
fourth
yeah.
round started at API, I was like, I'm in on Burns. He's got 5 straight top 10s. He's in the top 10 again. He's a Bermuda guy. This is an Innisbrook comp. It's the same greens. It's the same like sight lines off the tee that everybody says is Innisbrook, and he's dominant there. Like he hasn't had the results yet, but of course his area isn't like the most predictive here. So like doesn't matter. And like so many guys who have won here had 0 course history before they did. So he's like every narrative is pointing me to Burns. And then he's like a shell of himself, body snatched on the last day of the API. So like I don't really now I feel terrible about it, but I was already like mentally committed on it. So I'm in. But in theory, we're in Florida, we're on Bermuda. He can not have his best ball striking stuff and make every putt. That's how he's always won at Valspar. His short game is like not creative, but he's like comfortable on Bermuda. So that's worth something. And he's been really good off the tee. Like he's used to be
And he's a better wedge player than
away.
long iron player. Like I like him with
Yeah.
a wedge in his hand, and he's gonna have a ton of them this week.
Got a little Ryder Cup experience since he was here last year. So now he maybe can handle a crowd a little bit better. Not really like a difficult conditions guy, but the players are sort of that like moderate conditions where I feel like that's a little bit like as far as like a big dick event that you need to make a bunch of putts. I feel like that's what this week is. So that would be, I think if he's going to win a big event, Sam Burns, this would be his best chance.
Yeah, I agree. I bet him. I bet a 40-1. I've been riding him all year. Barring the last round of API, he's been one of the most consistent players on tour, which I don't really think he's ever been like known for being a consistent player. He's just like randomly popped. So I like that he's actually strung together a bunch of really good starts. And I think that shows that he's kind of taken that next step this year. And I do think he's a guy I trust to win. 40-1, fuck it. Like I'm it. Like I don't have any real do I think he's actually gonna win? No, but 40-1 on Sammy B. I've been riding him all year. I can't hop off now. Like he wins, he can win. Like, why not? So I bet him.
And the Giants just traded for Brian Burns. So
Yeah.
you got a little Brian and Burns coming to New York, like synergy happening here. So I think it's a vibe bet.
Who do you like most out of Connors, Minwoo, Finau, Harmon, and Benon, and Tom Hogue? Like two fades. Connors, Minwoo, Finau, Harmon, Benon, Hogue.
I think I like. Oh, like you should say Finau because he's like a better player than all those guys. But I think I would go Harmon. I think I go Harmon and Hoagie.
Really?
Tom Hogue, like first round leader lock, has been first round leader here. Course record holder as of last year. Picked that up in the 3rd round. My card was dead. And then I had nothing to root for after Friday. And then Tom Hoagie comes out, shoots the course record, gave me a little something. He was never in it, but he was like T3 going into Sunday. And I was like, ooh, maybe if he shoots the course record a second time, I'll have an outright here.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
So you invented Tom Hoagie at the Players.
Oh my God. Yeah. 2 years ago,
like
he was first round leader.
On him. Everyone's on him.
This is his Super Bowl. I mean, he's literally the course record holder. He took it away from Colt Nose. Like you just have to be in the fairway and flex with your irons, and that's all he does. So this is a perfect course for him. Brian Harmon was 150-1, and I missed it. And this is literally the Open all over again. I'm devastated. Like I didn't get it. I saw it. I didn't tweet about it, but I saw it, and I was like, "Whoa, Brian Harmon shouldn't be there." And then I went to see Dune 2, and I came back, and he was 70-1 everywhere because he like flashed up the leaderboard on Sunday, and he went from like T30 to T6, and now you can't get him better than like 60-1. But I like him.
Yeah, I said like 66. I think that's low. Like I don't think that's obviously it's not a good number, but like I don't think that's fair. I don't think the 150 is fair. I bet the 150. Is he gonna win? No, like 0 chance Brian Harmon's not winning. Like it's not happening. But I think 66 is a bad number. Like I don't. Like he's low as 45 in some places. Like he was 150 last week. But this is a good spot for him. I, think he can pop. I like Ben on a lot. I think this is a really good spot for him. Like lock for a T7, T12. Can't
Sony
win.
comp.
Like Sony comp had him, no big deal. Connors, where are you with Corey Connors?
He's just not going to win a big dick event. He's not
All
a
right.
BDE guy. He's a Valero
BDE
guy. That's it. And like he finds a way in contention and majors and stuff, but then he'll do like an Oak Hill, jam it into the side of the bunker when he has a chance to win. So like he's gonna find the water on the last 3 holes if he's in the mix. So I don't want any part of that. But maybe in DFS, yeah, sure. I mean, ball striker's course.
I don't know if he's an AM or
good course
PM
history.
time, but I wouldn't hate Connors first round leader.
I'd rather go
late.
Russ if they're in like a similar range.
I like Russ. I've bet Russ here. I actually think Russ. What are his odds? Yeah, 50-1. Terrible number. But I like Russ a lot. This is a great course for him. Top 20 last 2 years. Again, Harmon Hoagie type, but he, has a little bit of a higher caliber player.
You're going to need a Tyrrell Hatton situation where you just post a number on Sunday, get in the clubhouse before the pressure's on and just hope that it holds on.
Yeah.
Another guy who the pressure's on with Russell Henley with water all around him.
Zero.
Enjoying your top chance. 10. This is what happened with Tommy Fleetwood last year, actually. He was he got all the way back and then he was like, oh, wait, I could win this thing. And he quadrupled the last 2 holes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a really bad T20 beat. It was one of the worst of the year.
Did you have him?
I sure did. Yeah.
Wow.
I had him top 20. Yeah.
Fuck.
I remember those. I don't forget those.
Yeah, those are tough. You bet Keegan. Can he win?
Great CLV on that one. I don't think you can get 100-1 anymore.
He's 90. You can get 90.
Can you really? Okay. So mediocre CLV. Something about Keegan here, to me, it's he's been close. And I feel like you learn from it. Maybe, okay, the last time I was in this situation, I didn't know what to do. I panicked and hit it in the water. Now I know I shouldn't do that.
Yep.
And what year was it was it the Cam Smith? Yeah, it was the Cam Smith.
Yeah, he was top 5.
He was charging. And he made this is right before he figured it out with the putting. He wasn't hitting anything. And then the players came and he all of a sudden everything went in and it changed everything for him. So there's something about these greens that he's been good on. He's a Florida guy. He claims Florida.
Yep.
He's got the whole East Coast.
Full swing bump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Crowd's going to be on his side.
Watched?
I have not watched yet. No.
Not a single episode.
Not yet. I need to.
Why?
I've seen the clips and stuff. I'm not caught up yet.
You're just too busy?
House hunting.
You're
house hunting.
Shout out house.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all house pets.
No, well, I mean, you're a bright guy. You're a marketing executive. I thought, try it up your sleeve. I know you'll get to it. I'm kind of whatever about it. It's fine. I haven't gotten to the Ryder Cup yet, but first 2 episodes were whatever. They were fine. It's tough being a really big fan of the PGA Tour and watching it because it's just kind of Live PGA stuff's overblown. I know most of these stories, but I'm excited to get to the Ryder Cup episodes.
Yeah. So
Keith Mitchell
weekly.
He should play well. He's playing well. He's good.
He's not he's not one of the players.
I'm with you. I agree. With you.
But he's been playing well.
Is he? Yes. What is he teeing off? Fuck, all these good first round leader players are in the afternoon. Whatever.
I feel like he's more of a long iron guy, and we're not getting as much of that as he needs.
Okay.
But he's good. He's playing really well. Yeah, 3 straight top 20.
Why'd you bet Pavone?
Number. I mean, somebody dropped a stat. somebody dropped a stat like all of
Yeah,
the last 5 winners have been
have
averaging
been
1.5
over
strokes gained
2.5. Yeah.
for the season. It's like Xander, Pavone, and Scotty.
So it's a numbers
I haven't
play.
watched Pavone play much,
Okay.
but he's top 10 in everywhere. He makes every putt. Seems like I actually is a total enigma to me what he does ball striking. I don't really know if he's longer than average. I don't think he's very accurate. I think he's just like extremely average off the tee and like a streaky iron player. I'm literally just like, hey, this guy is leading the FedEx Cup race, and he's 150 to 1
No,
at the players.
Scotty must be now.
Okay, that's probably true. Yeah, it probably has caught
So
him.
he can't
But
win.
he's like top 5.
Yeah, he only could have won when he wasn't. When he was leading the FedEx Cup, like that was clear. I like EVR. I like him first round leader. Don't think he could win, but he gained 11 strokes on approach here 2 years ago. Fucks in Florida, playing well. 200 to 1 CLV.
Yeah, there's been a long narrative that you just don't play EVR where there's water. And he's
Really?
done a good job repairing the image. I mean, there is a lot of water in Mexico. He's been playing, I think,
Honda.
was he at Honda where he played well too?
Yeah, he like almost won on Sunday.
It's just like he won Mexico and he gained this new confidence, and now he's like
Well,
this
it's
elite
the
ball
worldwide
striker.
technologies. It's
Yeah,
not the Mexico Open.
he won in Mexico.
Okay, fine. Like we just need,
and he could
like,
have won the Mexico.
You need
Open.
a French connection to the players, and you need a Mexico connection to the players to justify both of those picks.
Yes. You know, he just kind of looks the part, EVR, of like a guy who should be like an actually like consistently good player. Like he has a really good swing. He has like good form on the greens. Like I'm watching him hit putts, and I'm like, why has this guy been an awful putter his entire career? He has like a good stroke. So I think he could be good. He actually has like a lot of top tens and like big events like WGCs, the players and stuff. So like he just doesn't play in that many majors because he hasn't been good for that long. But I wouldn't be shocked if he played. I would be shocked if he shot like 10 over and was miscut. But he has like he could win the player, sure.
No, I think he's just the perfect first round leader bet. Like I think a guy that should play well here can't win early tee time, has like fucking peaked with the irons here. Like I like it. It's a first round leader play for me.
It's really like he's been around a long time. He's played the players once.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What happened to the players? Like now everyone's in the players. Like
has he really just never qualified for the players?
Yeah, I don't know. Ricky Fowler 140. Oh, Eckroat. Love Eckroat this week. Eckroat every single lineup. Talk about a guy. Here's a guy super accurate off the tee. Literally one of the best iron players on tour right now. I think he's gained over 4 in his last 3 starts. Fucks on Bermuda. It's not Bermuda. Eckroat every single lineup this week. Like really like Austin. Can't win. Really like Austin Eckroat this week.
Are you guys still DMing? Are you still close?
No. I should did you have any FOMO with Austin and Honda?
Nah.
Okay.
I didn't watch much of the Honda. You know what? I was like not betting Shane Lowry.
Yes. This guy, quick speed, y'all rocking with a hole-in-one card this week? Yes. And I know I talked about it on here before. My hole-in-one card for Waste Management was one of the greatest things I've ever put together in my life. And
such a bad
I'm
beat.
trending. I'm trending in the hole-in-one market. Novak hole-in-one, mortgage. Novak hole-in-one. That is my official play.
Is it hole-in-one on the 17th or
any hole-in-one? It's to make a hole-in-one. Like it will be on 17, but I think just to make a hole-in-one. Card will be at.
What do the cops say is the right number of hole-in-one props to
bet? I think everything is like 7x for me. Well, no, everyone's 100 to 1.
Yeah. 7 extra hole. You're gonna bet like 20 guys?
You're right. I apologize. It would probably be like 100. No. I don't know. I'll probably bet like 6 or 7 guys.
You just bet every loser who's like top 20 on approach.
No, I like modeled it.
Eckroat, EVR.
No, it's kind of like first round leader plays as well. But like last year, like I can name the 3 people that made a hole in one last year. Can you
Smalley.
name
Wait,
them?
let me try to. Smalley. Lowry, I think, was 2 years ago.
Correct.
Ah, shit.
You fucked
Kelly
up.
Craft?
No.
Might have
You
been 2
should
years
know
ago.
one of them, like really. You should 100% know one of them, and you're gonna kick yourself when you remember.
Shit. I remember Smalley so vividly.
We talked about him on the pod.
Getting a hole in one?
Yes.
These were all in
Like
17, all the aces, right?
yeah, but like we talked about him like extensively, and you talked about him.
It wasn't Ramey.
No.
Did you get a hole in one? No.
No.
Oh, man.
Buckley was the other one, and then the third guy, I'm embarrassed for you. Aaron Rye.
No way, really?
Yep.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I'm like almost positive.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah,
This is what I'm talking about. Like
Yep.
losers who are great on approach. Like that's literally all. Like Buckley, not really, but the other two are just like, yeah, they're not going to play well, but they could point at a pin and hit it.
Hole in one.
Like Corey Connors makes aces everywhere. Maybe
he's
true.
He's
an ace guy.
I might have to go back. Hubbard, good hole in one. Hubbard is on the hole in one card. I think he has 3 in his career. Like Hubbard, first round leader guy. I mean, hole in one guy. That's on the card.
Hubbard got an ace at the Rocket Mortgage Classic and dropped his club because he thought it was a bad shot.
Yeah, and he also had one at.
He was spotlight that week.
Yeah. Did you fake lap that?
People forget. Yeah, counts.
Also, he had an ace at Wells on that Island Green. And he had one in like 2014. So yeah, Hubbard, Novak are on the hole in one card. I would think highly of you if you, in your article, put out 3 or 4 hole in one props. But I don't know if that would mess up like your ROI and shit.
It will, but I'm actually. I think I ended up being underexposed because I built a card mostly from bets on Monday, and then the odds got better, so I just took the better odds and like cashed out, got better odds. So I'm like technically under. So I'll just put those towards hole in one. I'll bet like 5 guys 100 to 1.
And that would make me really happy, honestly.
I won't do analysis for all of them. I'll just do a section that's like, these are all guys who are losers, but they can point at a pin and hit
it. Scotty Bags just tweeted at me, you haven't picked a winner since before COVID. That's erroneous. Okay, Scotty Bags. Like, what? That's not true. But it's fine. It's okay. It's okay to lose money. Also, I've never had more people in a TIB ever. Like this was like the bots are out. Like there's like 1,500 people watching right now. It must be all porn bots and like fixed sports betting games. Like I don't know what is going on. Like you definitely drew a lot of viewers, but the numbers tonight. Keith,
I'm like
shout out
a
Keith.
little bit.
It's on. It should be on DraftKings. Keith is actually worried about the hole in one.
Sponsored by DraftKings. Are we giving free promos out on this?
Yes. Tons. But yeah, I don't know who I'm betting straight up. Like I need some more time. Again, if anyone cares, I'm kind of like thinking about doing a 4-man card and Harmon of like one of JT, Hovland, Max, Colin. Like 2 of those, and then Burns and Windy for sure. And then I'm not really doing the long shots. Like I'm just betting them first round leader and hole in one. I'm like I want to bet 4 guys below 40 to 1 is basically my strategy this week. But
I'm just looking at the odds. So like the favorite.
Some guys have like lower for hole in one odds, which is hilarious.
Well, it's funny. Shane Lowry has the shortest odds.
What is it?
Shane Lowry and Jason Day randomly are 80 to 1. And the longest odds you can get are Ches Reavie at 110. So everybody's like 80 to 1.
Wow, no, those are bad hole in one odds. Like I need like a 125 hole-in-one odd.
Well, because
Also, are we not going to talk about Lowry this week? I bet him here the last 2 years. He's not a winner, but he is playing well. What do you think?
yeah, I was gonna say like I don't know how Lowry wasn't on my cog card. Like checked every box. The number was really good. Like there were not that many great players, and he was 35-1. And I bet JT Poston and Eric Cole instead of him. Like that's a stupid process too. And when he was like even odds going into Sunday, and I was like, there's just no way I live to not regret this. And
Turns
he
out he's a
did
loser.
severe Shane Lowry things. So I just think you can't bet him. Like his reputation won't allow his number to get to where it needs to be to reflect his actual win equity. So whenever he wins, if he ever wins in America, I probably just won't be there for it.
Yeah, I think honestly he made a deal with the devil to win the 2019 Open, and he's not going to win again.
Take that deal. You take that deal.
You take
10
that
times
deal.
out of 10.
You will not win in America if you win this week. Yeah, that's kind of where I am on Shane, but he's good. He's fine. No big deal. No real beef there. So who do you think which two do you think I should bet out of Hovland, Homa, Colin, and JT?
Outright?
And Xander, maybe.
Outright?
Yeah, outright.
I mean, I bet Vic and JT. I think Cantlay and Xander will never win the Players.
Okay. Like that.
Just you have to be gutsy for 4 days. They're just never going to do that. And they generally they actively try to avoid Florida. Yep. So I just don't like the situation. Homa, I bet last year, and I thought it was like, this is a great course for him. I think he will win the Players in his career. The ball striking is in a weird place. Okay. So I don't love it. Like, I'm not in love with the Vic bet, but I love where the number has gotten to. Like, it's a good number now. Okay. I was kind of like convincing myself when I wrote him up, he was like 18, and I was like, yeah, I think I would still do it. And then he closed at 25, and it's like, okay, I'll definitely do Vic at 25 for sure. He's probably the second best player in this field if he has his A game.
Okay, that's fair. I don't hate that take.
I mean, I guess
I just worry about the short game. I like of the four. I like Hollywood, but I worry about the short game.
The thing that put me over with Vic was I looked at the weather. It doesn't look that bad. And if we get nasty weather where the wind is you're hitting good shots and the wind is blowing it off the green anyway, you don't play. And that's how he lost the API. That's how Scotty won it. The year that he won, Vic had it in a runaway. He was up 6 strokes on Sunday, and every hole it was impossible to hold a green, and he couldn't get up and down on any of them. So I worry if the wind gets too much for Vic, but it looks like the wind's actually kind of in check. So I like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll put my card out eventually. I don't know if I like the Monday Tibbs. Honestly, I'm seeing June tomorrow night, and you have dinner, so I couldn't do it. But I've been ripping a lot of Monday Tibbs this year.
1,500 viewers. Maybe the people are asking for Monday Tibbs. Yeah,
maybe they need a Monday Tib.
This is Live Bangkok numbers.
This is Live Cock numbers. Let's play golf soon. I miss you dearly.
I might be close to your neighborhood soon.
Yeah, it's been way too long since Woke Hill. I wish you the best on your house hunting, in your job as an admin, and obviously I know everyone does. Everyone check out John's articles on the lines. They're great. They're informative. He's a good writer. He's putting out a hole-in-one card. I don't know what more you could really want.
Oh, thank you. That's the kindest outro anyone's ever given me.
Yeah. We're going to do the intro next, but we got the outro. But yeah, we'll see everyone next week. Valspar week. John. Foxy? Fox is winning the Valspar.
Interesting.
Mortgage. Fox is winning the Mouth War.
Okay.
All right. We'll see everyone next week. Actually, I don't know if I could do 10. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
It's next week's
Everyone
problem.
have a good night.